I think the Indian market is a hugely exciting place. It is growing by population and wealth. The middle class is clearly growing exponentially, and it is said to be the third largest market in the very near future. So that's all very exciting numbers, and it provides a lot of great opportunities for New Zealand red meat as well as other products.
But challenges as well. One big challenge.
Absolutely, challenges. But opportunities come from challenges.
The big challenge being that the Indian market is not a beef-eating market.
It's not a beef-eating market, that's true, but it is a sheep meat-eating market. And we have made some inroads into that market on a small quantity and volume. But clearly we have tested the appetite for New Zealand sheep meat in that market, and it's good. So the challenge for us is to develop the relationships to grow that opportunity for our sheep meat producers and exporters.
What are some of the products that you can see New Zealand offering to the Indian market?
Well, obviously sheep meat, first and foremost, but from our industry's perspective, we produce a wide range of products. It's not just the meat that we produce and export. We also have a range of co-products, or what we call the fifth quarter, and they include things like meat and bone meal that is used in animal feed and fertilizer, tallow that is used in Singapore, for example, for the production of biofuel, pet food, which is hugely an important category and growing in value, and of course blood for pharmaceutical serums and pharmaceutical medicine production. And I'm really excited about the pharmaceutical angle because New Zealand blood products are highly regarded globally because of our disease-free status for our animals. And we know India, for example, is very focused on becoming the pharmacy of the world for generic medicine, and I think we've got a real opportunity to provide input into that and support them to achieve their goals, while at the same time obviously achieving our own aspirations to trade with India.
What do you know of the demographics of the market that will mean opportunity for New Zealand?
Well, we know both from the Indian diaspora here in New Zealand and from being in the market that there is a lack of iron in the diet, in the Indian diet. I can't say why that is, but it does exist. And so the opportunities that we see, particularly for young women and mothers and young babies, is to work with the health authorities in India to introduce more iron-rich, nutrient-rich foods in the diet to help their population's nutrient needs. Red meat is well known for being a very nutrient-dense product, and when consumed as part of a balanced diet, it does tick a lot of those nutrient boxes for the population at large.
And the growing middle class, I guess that must bring some opportunity in terms of how much of a barrier is the lack of a free trade agreement towards achieving these aims?
Yeah. Well, look, I mean, a free trade agreement is a tool. It is a very important tool. It will take off the tariff, hopefully, if we get to the negotiating table. But with the deteriorating global environment, we're seeing a lot of regulatory non-tariff barriers crop up, and they're the ones that sit behind the tariff wall. So the free trade agreement will quickly deal to a tariff, but unfortunately the NTBs will remain. And that's really quite challenging to address and dismantle. At the moment, we really do need to focus on growing that relationship, becoming familiar with India, and for the Indians to become familiar with New Zealand, growing that level of trust so that once a free trade agreement has been negotiated and implemented, we're less likely to face those regulatory non-tariff barriers.
And I was speaking there to Sirma Karapeeva, the Chief Executive of the Meat Industry Association. I caught up with her at this year's Primary Industries Summit in Wellington.